The images of a bloody Donald Trump raising a clenched fist could become iconic. And they could reinforce the contrast with President Joe Biden. In a cluster of Secret Service agents, Trump, with blood running down his face, was quickly escorted into a car and driven away, but he managed to say a few words. Fight! 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 The rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday did not go as planned. Suddenly, shots were fired at the former president while he was on the podium. The bullet hit Trump's ear. A spectator was shot and killed. 2 other people were injured. The 20-year-old, identified by the FBI as the suspected perpetrator, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was killed shortly after. In a stunning, almost cinematic moment, Trump just survived what could have been a fatal incident, getting up with nothing but a fist pump. Looking back, this is not the first time a president or presidential candidate had faced such dire threats. The script seems almost reminiscent of March 30th, 1981, when President Ronald Reagan was shot by John Hinckley Jr. in Washington, D.C. Despite the attack, Reagan not only survived but also triumphed in the 1984 election with an overwhelming victory, securing 525 electoral votes and 58.8% of the popular vote across 49 states. This incident was the last time a US president was targeted in such a manner until the recent attempt on Trump. As we approach November's election, one can't help but wonder, will history echo itself? After all, Trump survived the attack, and the presidential candidate has already been discharged from the hospital. It confirms the rhetoric he has used for a long time, that he is someone who is attacked by others because of his political convictions. The attack happened 2 days before the Republican National Convention, where Trump is officially to be nominated as the party's presidential candidate. The Trump campaign has announced that he will attend the convention as planned, and that he is doing well. This attack could also garner some sympathy for Trump. Perhaps he could secure some new supporters and votes in a very tight election campaign. It is also believed that the incident could help to reinforce the contrast between Trump and Biden. While the 78-year-old Trump appears strong and robust, the 81-year-old Biden is criticized for being old. Trump managed to quickly turn this situation, where he risked being killed, into a positive thing through this iconic image of American resilience that he displayed. Biden has long been criticized for being too weak and too old for the presidency. The criticism did not subside after the presidential debate with Trump at the end of June, which led to more Democrats and commentators calling for Biden to withdraw from the campaign. Now we have a contrast to Trump, who, despite the assassination attempt, stands out as a strong leader with a clenched fist. In this way, he appears as the complete opposite of Biden. The attack comes in the midst of a turbulent campaign marked by polarization and large gaps between the candidates and their supporters. Joe Biden was quick to condemn the attack on Trump. But Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, who has been mentioned as a possible vice presidential candidate for Trump, quickly directed accusations at Biden and the Democrats. This is not just an isolated incident, Vance wrote on X. The core of Biden's campaign is that President Donald Trump is an authoritarian fascist who must be stopped at any cost. The rhetoric directly led to the assassination attempt on President Trump, he emphasizes. Vance refers to Trump as president, despite him being a former president and presidential candidate. This is an example of how the assassination attempt is already contributing to a more tense political climate. It is important that information about the suspected perpetrator and the motive for the attack is now brought forward to avoid speculations and conspiracies. As we inch closer to the election, the stakes couldn't be higher. The implications of a Trump victory loom large, beckoning us to consider what lies ahead for America. Let's delve into the ripple effects this could have on a man who has continually captivated global attention, not just as a former president, but as a figure who polarizes opinion at every turn. Let's explore what this critical moment could mean for the future of the nation. First up, the psyche. Imagine the psychological toll of such a harrowing experience. For someone like Trump, who thrives in the limelight, the aftermath might be a cocktail of paranoia and defiance. Increased stress could become a new companion, and perhaps even PTSD. An unwelcome guest at a very turbulent table. His trademark bravado might mask the scars, but the echoes of the event could linger in quieter moments. Then there's behavior. Trump's already fortress-like security would probably transform into something out of a high-stakes spy film. Public appearances? Even more calculated. The spontaneous Trump, previously seen at rallies, might take a back seat, replaced by a more guarded figure, literally and metaphorically. Politically, such an attempt could be a goldmine for rhetoric. Trump, never one to shy away from leveraging situations to his advantage, might amplify his law and order mantra. The incident could become a central narrative of his campaign, portraying him as a survivor fighting against chaos. It could also polarize views on issues like gun control and law enforcement support, making them hotter topics than a July afternoon in DC. With Trump now a direct victim of gun violence, his reaction underscores a stark reality. No one is immune to America's epidemic of violence. His shock reveals the pervasive nature of this threat, even to those who feel most secure. Trump said he can't believe it could happen in his country. Really? This incident might just reshape the national dialogue on security and safety. The effect on his supporters and the broader political climate could be likened to throwing gasoline on a bonfire. His base might rally with even greater fervor, seeing him as a martyr of conservative values. On the flip side, detractors might scrutinize the event, searching for inconsistencies or political play, further entrenching the divide. And what about personal reflections? Such a close brush with mortality might prompt Trump to ponder his legacy more deeply. Could this lead to a softening of his usual hardline stances? Or perhaps a doubling down, a recommitment to make America great again? His decisions could sway under the weight of his family's concerns, who would undoubtedly fear for his safety. Legally and security-wise, this event would likely set off a flurry of reviews and revisions. Campaign trails might now resemble military operations in their precision and security detail. The Secret Service would have their work cut out for them, ensuring history doesn't dare repeat itself. Lastly, the media and public perception. How the attempt is portrayed could either bolster Trump's image as a resilient fighter or paint him as a figure whose polarizing nature brings about extreme reactions. The narrative spun around this event could very well define his political fate. As the dust settles on a shocking assassination attempt, the nation watches a resilient Donald Trump, not just standing, but symbolizing a defiant survivor's spirit. This moment, captured in a potent image of him with a blood-streaked face and a raised fist, isn't just a personal trial. It's a pivotal scene in the grand theater of American politics. While some may argue this paints Trump in the light of an embattled hero, others might see it as a grim reminder of America's deep-seated issues with violence and division. This incident throws into sharp relief the stark differences in leadership styles and physical vitality between Trump and his contender Joe Biden, potentially reshaping public perceptions in the lead-up to the election. In the face of such adversity, Trump's response does more than just rally his base. It potentially broadens his appeal to undecided voters who value toughness and resilience in their leaders. His appearance at the Republican National Convention, mere days after the attack, may set the tone for the remainder of his campaign, emphasizing his unwavering commitment to his cause and his unyielding refusal to be sidelined. Moreover, this event could significantly impact the national discourse on safety, security, and the very fabric of American society. It raises urgent questions about the nature of political discourse and the safety of those in the public eye. As we move closer to the election, the implications of this incident extend far beyond Trump himself. It becomes a reflection of the nation's soul, searching for its path forward amidst turmoil and tension. Thus, as we ponder the future, we must consider not just the physical survival of a man, but the survival of certain ideals and how they will be tested in the coming times. The road to the election has taken an unforeseen turn, setting the stage for a profound examination of American resilience and the enduring spirit of its people.